Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time as we start the trading week. We got about 24 minutes to go until the opening bell, and you got markets picking things up in negative territory. S&Ps right now, you're negative by 24 points. That's about 0.6% in the red. We make a high on Friday of about 39.22. We almost get up to that level at about 3 p.m. Eastern Time as well, about 39.20. We trail off a bit. Quite a decent week in the equities last week, especially coming on the non-farm payroll number on Friday. A little bit of volatility, man. You see, there's 8:30. I got it up on the charts. We'll kick things off in terms of 8:30 a.m. on Friday. You get non-farm payrolls, very strong number. The first move was to Southern Territory, man. This market traded lower on the premise that we have such a strong economy. We have so many jobs still being added that if inflation persists, the Federal Reserve will keep raising interest rates. But guess what? Didn't take long for that market to recoil, trade higher. 10 a.m. Eastern Time, you were trading at 38.70. You traded up a solid 50 points to the upside to 39.22. But where do we open Monday trading? We opened Monday trading, folks, right at the lows that we were at on that acceleration from 8:30. Now, this week, we get CPI data on Wednesday. We got some bank earnings kicking things off. CPI will be a big one, folks. Keep that one on your calendar. We'll cover that one a little bit more during the program. NASDAQ 100, you look where we are, not quite at the lows where we were on Friday, right? You check it out. S&Ps, we're kind of right where we were on the lows of the Friday trade coming off the non-farm payroll number. NASDAQ 100, a little bit higher from that price level, 12,066 NASDAQ 100, off about 0.7%. You get the Dow off about 0.6%. You take a look at the Dow actually well below where we were at 8:30 a.m. on Friday morning, 31,132. And you get the Russell this morning, down about 13 points at 1755. Bitcoin makes quite an acceleration last week to 22,550, but just like that, we're right near that 20,000 mark again for Bitcoin, trading at 20,545. Crude pulling back a bit. We got crude just in the last few minutes, though. Look at this spike, man. Watch out for that crude market. 9 a.m. Eastern Time, just since 9 a.m., you have crude spiking about $1.50 on that 5-minute bar. We're up to 102.65 for the price of crude. Gold contract right now, negative $7, quite a week to the downside last week for gold. This week, we kick things off, negative by $7 at 17.34. And we jump to notes and bonds. A little bit of a reversal of Friday's action. Now, you want some action, man. There is some action, right? We had markets reversing some of the move that you had on Friday, but that did not happen in the bond market, man. Right now, the 10-year, just above 3%. Still, as we sit, you're talking about a yield of 3.02%. This morning, we're getting some higher prices and some lower yield numbers. You got the 10-year up a solid 20 ticks right now at 118.07. How about the 30-year? Up a full point and 6 ticks at 138.01. Still not quite back to where we were prior to that jobs number on Friday, though, for the 10-year, for the 30-year, off of those levels still, even considering the move we've had. And we jump over to the volatility index, the VIX, 2635. We hit a low at 2443. The thing I will say about the VIX, I was reading an article last week, for those that have been playing the VIX for a hedge, for some of the volatility, not really been paying off with how many would have hoped it would pay off. If you're buying the VIX, you're looking for a volatility spike, maybe that's a hedge against a market position. You have the VIX at elevated levels already, folks. So, yes, you are getting some spikes. But, man, you're sitting at 2636 right now, and we got the S&Ps at 3875. All things considered, you take a look at where this VIX has been. We back it up on a daily just for this year alone. And you see, we're approaching the lower boundaries that we have seen. The low boundary in June that we got to on the VIX, 2374. We make it last week to 2464. So about $1 in those lows. We haven't seen a price below that since April. And even then, you didn't get below a price of 1857 in that VIX. We're trading right now at 2635. All right, let's kick things off, and we'll kick it off with a couple market takes. We'll start off with BlackRock. They warn against dip buying. Be careful out there, folks. So they talk about their underweight government bonds, prepare to be nimble amid sticky inflation and economic swings. There's no quick recovery in sight for stocks and bonds that are having the worst year in at least 3 decades, according to strategists at BlackRock. So, of course, you have the war going on between Russia and in the Ukraine. You got supply chain bottlenecks from COVID. We're going to get into Macau. Macau is shut down right now for China's zero COVID policy again. Wynn getting hit, some of the stocks over there, the gambling stocks getting hit from Macau especially. Constrained by the politicization of everything, policymakers will struggle to tackle the fallout. We're in a brave new world of heightened macro volatility and higher risk premia for both bonds and equities. That's what they wrote. The Federal Reserve, for one, is likely to choke off the restart of economic activity and only change course when damage emerges. Stocks and bonds having the worst first half returns in history. Hear that? In history. That's the stock index and the bond index there. And check it out, folks. You're talking about negative 20%, man. Bonds, they're supposed to be an offset when you're going to pull back in equities, but this is a different time, folks. You got rates spiking in dramatic fashion right now. You got inflation raging. We got a CPI number coming out on Wednesday. It's supposed to be about 8.6 or 8.8%. Could easily rise to 9%, right above that number. And yeah, they're talking about pockets of value, okay? They're talking about inflation-linked bonds, especially those in by the European nations, and it turned overweight UK sovereign debt on July 11th. Both are mispriced by the market. You're talking about BlackRock in there. So they see some volatility persisting in a big way. Now we jump to Citi and Morgan. A little bit of a divergence for these two. Citi, boy, we all, if we're bulls in the market, hope Citi is right, man. They're talking about like 4,200. Yeah, so we'll get into it. Citigroup and Morgan Stanley are split over whether earnings can provide the much-needed fuel for U.S. equities in the second half of the year, and we're coming into it right now, folks. We'll get into it. We got bank earnings kicking things off. Battered U.S. stocks are likely to rally in the remainder of 22. This is the Citi note, okay, as corporate earnings remain resilient to surging inflation and slowing economic growth. It almost seems like the best bull case is what they're laying out here. It's a possibility, but it's a pretty bold prediction to say that's actually what's going to happen. Current risk-off positioning and second-half earnings resilience set up for a mean reversion trade higher into year-end. That strategist, led by Scott Kroner, wrote in a note on Friday, they expect the S&P 500 to finish this year at 4,200, about 7.7% higher from the latest close, and that would be a 12% drop on the year. Now, you contrast that to Morgan Stanley's Michael Wilson, one of the most vocal bears on Wall Street. So he's talking about earnings facing another massive headwind from surging dollar, expects the recent rally in stocks to fizzle out. He's talking about a fair value case of 3,400 to 3,500 in a soft landing and 3,000 in a recession. That's 23% downside from the Friday close. I mean, try and remember, folks, when you're trying to assemble where you want to be in this market, if you have all your chips in a row where they need to be, not that long ago, okay, we were trading at a price point of 36.39. 36.39. Now, the S&Ps have risen. It doesn't even look like it on this chart because we've fallen so much, okay? But we've risen almost 250 points, even from where we sit right now, from that price level. 36.39. Well, here's what I'll say. You take 250 points the other way from 36.39, that puts you at 3,400. So it's well within the realm of possibility that you're below 3,400. Maybe you're chopping around. Okay, we got earnings season, man, and we got inflation raging, and we got a jobs market that is super strong, giving the Fed the ammunition they need to hike consistently to get inflation under control if they need to. We got a lot to talk about, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Vista Gold owns and operates the largest undeveloped gold project in Australia, the Mount Todd Gold Project. Vista Gold just completed their feasibility study, resulting in a 7 million ounce gold reserve. Vista Gold has all major permits approved and has retained CIBC capital market assistance in evaluating alternatives and in completing an accretive transaction. Vista Gold trades on the NYSE American and TSX under the ticker symbol VGZ. Vista Gold, executing a strategy to create shareholder value.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&P right now. You're negative by 25 points. That's about 2/3% in the red. We're kicking things off at about 38.76. We jump around to what else we had pulled up here. So the Twitter saga continues. Not too surprising. But on Friday, right after the close, it comes out that Mr. Elon Musk, he is filing to abandon his bid to buy Twitter. Now, there's your drop-off from Twitter. Pretty remarkable, right? It only drops off $2. This market was very highly priced into the fact that that deal was not going to happen, proven by the fact you only got a $2 move, considering where this equity is at right now. Now, you look over in terms of market cap-wise, folks, you're talking about $26 billion right now. I think the deal is to buy it at $44 billion, okay? You see how far it was away. Now, this is at the price it's trading at right now, I believe $35. But you see, market cap was well off $44 billion, okay? This market knew that that deal was not getting done with everything going on. Now it's going to be a battle in court. Twitter is going to be suing Elon Musk, trying to hold him to that deal. And it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. I mean, you got to remember, folks, Twitter didn't come to Elon Musk seeking someone to buy them, right? Elon did this all himself. He came after the company. He made a bid. He secured almost a 10% position, did it against regulations, okay, broke regulations to secure almost a double-digit position in the shares, came in, said he was going to go hostile, didn't have to go hostile, came to the board with an offer. The board accepted it. And then he decides to say that there's, I guess, this thing called bots that he was unaware of, and he needs more details. That's the type of due diligence you do before you make a deal to buy the company, folks. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in court. They got their legal teams assembled, and it's going to play out, and it's probably going to take some time. But nonetheless, Twitter right now, down about a couple bucks, trading at about 34.71 from 36.81. We jump over to Tesla shares to see how they're trading. They're up a little bit this morning. Maybe the market likes the fact that Elon's not going to be going after him. Maybe there's other factors going on here in Tesla as well. But Tesla up to 758, quite a charge higher for Tesla shares on Friday as well. All right, let's jump over to Amazon. Amazon shares backing off a bit. We were at 115.54. We're at 114 and change right now for Amazon. Now, Amazon, they got Prime Day coming up this week. Now, interesting, CNBC, they're usually plugging Amazon with just promo after promo. But this one, not so much. Their headline, Prime Day is coming. Here's why deal experts say you might want to skip it this year. The one thing I will say is if you are in the market for an Amazon device, right, whether it's like a Kindle or an Alexa or something like that, they usually have phenomenal deals on those items, especially on Prime Day. Beyond that, yeah, you better make sure that you're shopping on price, man, because, they are just creating sales. We live in a society that is like sale driven to the nth degree, folks. And Amazon's saying, hey, why don't we have more? Why don't we have more than that, et cetera, et cetera. And it just keeps going in a big way. Now, here's what I'll say that they brought up in here as well. So Prime Day may not be Amazon's best ever offer. Not surprising to find that out. The one thing they do mention, though, they offer the best prices on its own gear. I guess they're talking about a 24-inch Fire TV, only $90. 24-inch smart TV, right, for $90. Remarkable. That's 55%, half off the retail price, I guess. Some items will be reduced further down the road. Mattresses, outdoor furniture likely to be lowered around Labor Day. Toys get marked down the most on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. TVs generally hit their lowest price point ahead of Super Bowl Sunday. And you know what else you got out here, which I haven't heard a lot of myself, is you have competing events. Didn't even realize it. Target, they got 72-hour deal days kicking off today, July 11th, one day ahead of Prime. Target will price match select Prime Day deals and take an additional 5% off for Red Card members. Think about that, right? So heck of a competition going out there. Every year they become a little bit more competitive, those competitors, including Target. Meanwhile, other retailers, including Bed Bath & Beyond, Kohl's, Overstock, Samsung, and Saks Fifth Avenue, they're going to offer their own major markdowns, according to Rakuten's retail and shopping expert. So yeah, that kicks off tomorrow, but Target, they're already kicking off some sales with 72 hours of deals. Yeah, and that's a pretty interesting one, right? You got a price match over there for Target already going on. Now, here's what I'll say about this, right? What they mention in here is that you can price match some of what Amazon has going on. Let's see where they talk about it, because they mentioned this one site. How to make sure you're getting the best deals, okay? Camel. You ever heard of this one, folks? It is a great site. So check this out. I pulled it up right here, right? Here's how Camel works. The way it works is this is a site. It is literally just camel.com. And let me see if I can find any specific product here for you. I'm just going to pull up a random product. Let's pull up some type of TV. I'm on my other screen. Just give me one moment while I pull up a TV here. And so here's X product, all right? Any product you have. I just Googled, I just put in TV on the Amazon search, okay? Now, all you do is you take the URL at the top of any Amazon product, folks, okay? And now these URLs are like, 15 million digits of code. But you just take that code, you copy it, okay? And then you go back to Camel. And as it says, enter the Amazon URL or keyword to find the product. Now, if you want to see how this product is traded with their price, you enter the URL, okay? You enter it there, and what does it show you? This is the entire price history of this product. Well, check it out, folks. What is going on? So what did I just pull up? Check this out itself. Okay, well, it's going for $300 right now. This is an Amazon Fire TV, 55-inch. Look at this, 55-inch smart TV for $300, man. My goodness. That's a heck of a deal, even as I find it, okay? And what does this show you? Well, they must not have updated the price because they're showing this thing at like $559. But here's what you get to see. You know what? They had this thing down to $369 on June 13th. They had it down to that level on April 12th. Well, it's selling at $300. Well, you know what I can be sure of right away? I'm getting the best deal possible on this item because it's only traded, listen to me. It's been at $369. It shows you the price history of every single product on Amazon. So you can actually figure out, let's go for football. NFL football. Let's see what prices. Just for example, folks, it is a phenomenal. All right, well, that's going to be some crazy prices here. Let's pick Wilson NFL Authentic Football. All right, this seems like it might be a little crazy priced, $140. We take the URL, we copy it, we put it into Camel right at the top. We paste in that URL, we hit enter, and it's going to show us it's at $149. But look at this. This product was $120. Last year in May. Inflation's coming for you, folks, right? That's part of this deal here. So occasionally this thing dips down to like $115 or so, $149, $140. Check it out, folks. It's a great service, camel.com. Any single item on Amazon, you can pull it up, and it gives you a quick reference of whether the price they're actually talking about is actually a sale or not, considering the prices that they've charged over and over on Amazon's website. It's especially when you get sucked into the theory of thinking you're always getting a sale. pull it up, folks. Man, that 55-inch TV, though, there's a free ad for Amazon. 55-inch smart TV for $300. I might have to get that for the kids in the playroom, man. That is a heck of a deal for Amazon. All right, where do we go next? Let's talk about some gambling, folks. We're coming into the opening bell right now. We're going to tease it quick. We'll jump back to this after we come back from the break. But Macau, stocks tumble as the city shuts down to tame the virus. Yeah, dollar bonds drop with shares to start the week-long shutdown. So it's a week-long shutdown. The city ramping up measures to reduce transmission as cases surge. The thing about this is, I don't get how this ever stops, man. China, they're going to carry the zero-COVID policy until they kill that economy, potentially. Win, down about $3 to kick things off. We'll talk a little bit more about Macau when we get back on the opening bell, folks. Stay tuned.
Of booming inflation, where your purchasing power is eroded, there's no better place to protect your hard-earned money than in gold. Vista Gold's flagship asset is the Mount Todd Gold Project in the Northern Territory of Australia. This is Australia's largest undeveloped gold project. We are talking a world-class gold project in a Tier 1 mining district. This is a large-scale, low-cost project with significant existing infrastructure in a politically safe and friendly mining jurisdiction. Vista Gold just completed the Mount Todd feasibility study, which resulted in a 7 million ounce gold reserve and a 16-year mine life. All of this, combined with the approvals of all major operational as well as environmental permits. This distinguishes Mount Todd as an attractive, de-risked partner, ready development stage gold project. Vista Gold trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol VGZ.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets open. You got the S&P kicks off the trading week right now, down 27 points at 3874. NASDAQ 100, you're off about 118 points, 12,030. Dow's off 140 points right now. Russell negative by 12. Bitcoin 20,500, right on the dot. Crude catches a little bit of a bid after trading lower. Look at that acceleration, man. Watch out for that crude market. Crude from 101 up to 103.50 this morning. You get the gold contract down about $6 this morning. Notes and bonds, higher price and lower yield right now. And when we jump over, we're talking about a 10-year of 3.02%. We still got inversion going on from the 10-year and the 2-year. All right, jumping back real quick to Macau. So win this morning, let's see how they open. Catch a little bit of a lift, actually. Down 4.2%, but off of the lows of about $53. MGM's trading lower, I believe, as well. Yeah, MGM off about 2%. They got a big play in Macau as well, off 2%, off 59 cents to 28.75. Now, jumping back to this Macau piece real quick, some of the numbers they talk about here, pretty startling. So this is why I say, where does this end, man? This is the type of shutdown you get for 59 new cases. Folks, COVID's not going away, man. So you get 59 new cases on Sunday. That brings the total outbreak to 1,500 cases since June 18th. That's almost a month. I mean, these numbers are nothing compared to what most of the other world's dealing with, right? So does this just keep happening in China? I don't know. I mean, I know that their vaccines are not as effective as ours and the rest of the world. And now they have a case where they get 1,500 cases over the course of a month, and they're shutting down Macau. Now, check this out. The casino shutdown, the first since an unprecedented 15-day closure in February of 2020. Okay, so this hasn't happened since they did 2 weeks right when COVID started. Hasn't happened since then. Deals a substantial blow to an industry that accounts for 80% of government income. Macau is all gambling, folks. That's all that exists there. I'm exaggerating to a certain degree, but you are talking about 80% of government income comes from that industry. A large portion of employment comes from that industry. Gaming revenue has already fallen more than 50% every month since March, amid a dearth of visitors after mainland China rolled out strict curbs to get its own outbreak under control. Citigroup cut its forecast from Macau's July gaming revenue to $49 million, implying a near zero level of revenue for the rest of the month. Yeah, it's not happening, folks. That would be the lowest monthly revenue the industry has seen during the pandemic, and nearly half of the previous low of June of 2020. So where does this end, right? Still, Macau's new gaming law requires operators to set aside $618 million for bidding on new licenses, which would shorten the liquidity runway. It's going to be a tough one over there, folks. And you're seeing it play out. You're seeing it play out with Wynn. You're seeing it play out with MGM this morning. But surprising when you see, 59 cases, 1,500 cases since last month. I imagine we're going to see that happening in perpetuity for some degree of time over in China. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, let's see how Twitter and Tesla are trading this morning. I imagine that deal not getting done anything close to what the terms were set prior. Twitter down about 5.7% this morning. You got Tesla shares basically flat at 750. Now, it's going to be an interesting one to see, as I talked about earlier in the program, how this plays out legality-wise. I'm not a lawyer. Most people aren't lawyers. Lawyers and judges are going to figure this one out, folks. But here's what Elon's out there tweeting 9 hours ago, folks. There it is. They said I couldn't buy Twitter. This is his tweet, folks, okay? Out at midnight Eastern time last night. They said I couldn't buy Twitter. Then they wouldn't disclose bot info. Now they want to force me to buy Twitter in court. Now they have to disclose bot info in court. Not sure the have to is how things work there. This is Elon's tweet. That's part of his mentality. He is the meme king of Twitter. But yeah, I'm not so sure that's how it plays out, folks. And there's a lot of hot takes. This is one of them. Now, this is not familiar really with this gentleman at all, Dan Primack. He's a business editor at Axios. His take, and I would say it's pretty reasonable as somebody that's not a lawyer, okay? So take it for what it's worth. Either getting terrible legal advice or not listening to his lawyers, the court's not going to allow a post-agreement fishing expedition would create disastrous precedent for future mergers and acquisitions. I mean, the key part about this, folks, this is not some fact that comes out late in the game that they were unaware of, etc., right? All of those things. It was one of the most instrumental parts of Elon wanting to buy Twitter, was that he said it was full of bots. So it's not something that could have been overlooked prior to making the deal to buy Twitter for $44 billion. So you don't get to make a deal to buy a company and then go into court and go on a fishing expedition. I would say that's a pretty reasonable position, but as I said, I'm not a lawyer, and we're going to get a lesson here, all of us, into how this plays out. But I imagine Elon's on the hook for something, man. Maybe $1 billion is what he's on the hook for. We'll see how that plays out eventually in court. All right, what else we got going on? So it is the beginning of earnings season, folks. Let me pull up as I have that going on as well. So we kick things off, and we got the banks coming out in big fashion this week. They're usually the thing that kicks things off dramatically in terms of the first week of earnings. So we get some of the big dogs out there. Let's see how they're trading this morning. We got JP Morgan down about 0.9% right now at 113.32. We got Morgan Stanley. They're going to be down about 1.2% right now at 75.78. Maybe this has to do with the fact that we have decreasing yields right now. We got higher price and lower yield. We got the 10-year up almost 20 ticks. You got the 30-year continuing to climb up a full point and 9 ticks. So we see lower yields right now. Now, when do we get the banks? We'll kick it off. So we got Morgan Stanley, I believe on Thursday. Let's check this out. Folks, the Thinkorswim platform, they are a sponsor. I know I'm biased. Outstanding platform. You jump right over to the Analyze tab. You jump over to the Earnings tab. You have Morgan Stanley coming out with their numbers, yes, on Thursday, and I believe they're pre-market on Thursday. So on Thursday, yeah, I'm pulling it up. So we got JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley on Thursday, and they're looking for about a $3.63 move is what's priced in right now to Morgan Stanley. We jump over to JP Morgan, their numbers out Thursday as well. Pretty similar move, $3.80 right now priced into their numbers. On Friday, we continue with the banks. We get Wells Fargo. They're out with their numbers on Friday, July 15th. You're talking about a $1.50 move. Wells Fargo trading at about $39.64. We also get BlackRock out on Friday as well. There you go. $20 move for a $608 stock. Not bad. We get Citigroup on Friday coming out with their numbers as well. $2.05 move expected for a $46 stock. And yeah, this market's selling off as I'm speaking, folks. NASDAQ 100 off 211. S&P's off 38 points right now. Some of the other notable companies we get to kick things off in the beginning of earnings season, besides the banks, Pepsi and Delta, two of the big ones usually. So we get Pepsi. They're out tomorrow. What are they saying? It says July 11th right now, but I believe they're out tomorrow. Let's jump around. Yeah, no action. So Pepsi's going to be, I believe, out with their numbers tomorrow. Maybe it's after the close tonight, but I believe they're out with their numbers tomorrow. Maybe somebody in the den has it. So Pepsi, $172 right now. Yeah, weird. Something's going on with Pepsi because it's not pricing in the one-day expected move as well. But we also get Delta. Delta going to be out with their numbers before the market on Wednesday. Delta, there's a move for you, $29.79. Watch out for this market, folks. S&P's down more than 1% right now. And you got Delta, about a $1.60 move. There's some volatility for you on Delta shares on the open. We got a couple other companies out with their numbers. We get United Health out with their numbers. You know, some of the other banks, State Street, PNC Financial, we get those as well. Stay tuned, folks. We got a few extra things to talk about when we get right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks, and there's the S&P for you. We kick off the trading week at an opening bell price of about 38.77. S&Ps drop about 20 points from there. We're at 38.57 right now. NASDAQ 100, there's a drop-off for you, man. We are below anywhere we were on Friday. So much for a bid on Friday's action, right? We come back from the weekend, and nope, we give it all up and then some. NASDAQ 100 below 12,000 right now, 11,913. And we got the Dow off 170 points right now. It is a great time, folks, to sign up for many of the newsletters. My dad's Gold Report, he comes out with a new issue on Mondays. We have weekly reports coming out Mondays. Tiger Forex Report by our man Teddy Kegstad. Kicked this off a couple weeks ago. New issue out this morning, weekly issues. This month, folks, it's already July 11th. Outstanding time to sign up for the Tiger Forex Report. It's the first month that it's in issue. So as a charter member, if you sign up, you can use code TEDDY25 right here on the order page, okay? You use that promo code, you hit add, you add that, 25% savings will tie to your subscription for the life of your subscription. New issue out this morning, and in everything going on in this market, folks. Forex right now, the dollar index, the dollar strength that we're seeing in this market, bonds, crude oil, all of those covered by Teddy in this report. You don't have to trade Forex to benefit from the type of information Teddy's putting out there every week in his report. New issue out this morning. Check it out. And the best part is, folks, you lock in that price. Okay, you lock in the price for the life of your subscription, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try it out. Give it a try. Get your 3 or 4 issues over the course of your month. If you don't like it, you cancel. You get your money-back guarantee. If you do like it, you lock in the 25% savings, and it stays with you for the life of your subscription. And we talk to Teddy every Wednesday at 40 past the hour. Always a great conversation. And jump into that crude market, man. 102.37. No waning interest in the price of crude yet this morning. You take a look at the longer-term chart, right? All we've seen is a retracement to the 50% line a couple times. Pretty interesting, that pullback we just got a couple weeks ago. No, not a couple weeks ago. That's July 6th, man. That's a daily we're looking at. We trade down to 95.10, pretty much just matching some of the recent lows we've had, right? The lows of March at about, what is the exact low? Let's get it there. The low, 93.53 in March. We make a low in April of 92.93. We make a low in April again of 95.28, and that low we just hit, 95.10. Pretty much in the ballpark. All we did was come down, test an area of support. We're back above $100 at 102.43. All right, and check out that note and bond market one time before we jump around, because it is continuing, man. You got the 10-year right now up 22 ticks. Look at this run. It's not stopping, man. We're almost right back to where we were prior to the sell-off on Friday, 118.10. You're up 22 ticks, and you got the 30-year right now up a full point and 16 ticks at 138.11. And let's jump around. Where are we trading right now? Yeah, the 10-year, we're at 3%. We're almost going to get a 2-handle right now in the 10-year, 3.004. You round down to 3%, but we're within a hair's reach. That thing ticks up any further, we're going to get a 2% handle on that 10-year. It's remarkable, man, this market across the board. All right, what else do we have pulled up here that we're talking about? Yeah, Uber. So check this one out, right? This story comes out. Now, we did have a position in Uber in my newsletter. We do not have a position anymore. I do have a small position in Uber for disclosure in my account in some capacity. Uber down about 4%. So the story comes out over the weekend, right, that Uber was doing some stuff that might not be, let's see, here we go. Looked upon kindly, to put it one way, okay? Now, did I have the article up? I think I did. It was a Guardian article, I think. I was reading it this morning, maybe. They had a couple different articles that came out, but Uber is said to have lobbied extensively to relax labor and tax laws and use so-called stealth technology to block government scrutiny and gain public trust. Okay, so that's some report out there. I did see a Guardian report out there. Basically, they have all these files from Uber talking about whether they were courting politicians. They had some kind of black box escape plan for everything they do. And here's all I'll say about this, folks. I think most of that's been pretty known for a while. I mean, do you remember the stories of Uber coming out where they would have their drivers signing up for Lyft rides and canceling in order to just specifically have the Lyft drivers go away from where the business was, or, manipulating Lyft drivers? So they would have Uber drivers signing up for Lyft rides to screw with the Lyft system so that they could benefit in the Uber system. There was lots of things that they were doing as this thing was gaining momentum throughout the year. I imagine it's going to be some tantalizing headlines that come out, especially because they have text. They have text from the president of France, Macron. They have text from politicians with Uber. They have the Uber ex-CEO. The one thing I will say that probably makes this a real nothing burger is that Kalanick isn't in charge anymore. And he was the guy that they have text from him talking about this and that. So tantalizing story, not surprising to say the least, but a lot of this stuff has come out before for Uber Technologies. And they were up to no good, man, when they were trying to create this. Because you got to remember, folks, it seems like something normal now that we just have people driving around their cars picking you up. But that used to be illegal in many cities. You needed a medallion to do that, right? So Uber was skirting this weird area of law that basically they were running a taxi service without medallions that somewhat made it illegal. Now, I go back to my day, folks. You want to hear something? So let's see. I graduated college in the year 2002, 20 years ago. So even after college in my young 20s, right, you're going out into the city of Boston where I was living in my young 20s. Absolutely amazing city, my favorite city in the whole world. And what would happen? Bars let out at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, right? You're in your young 20s. You're out. You're having fun with all your friends. The bars let out at 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's trying to get into a cab. All the cabs are booked. You can't call a cab at that time of the hour. And what would happen is you had regular people running around in their normal sedans trying to flag people down. And yeah, listen, you're playing with fire, man. Wouldn't do that these days. But being young guys in our 20s, 3 or 4 of them, some guys saying, yeah, I'm driving, and you jump into his car and he drives you home and you give him cash or something like that. So it was already existing. It's pretty funny how that worked, right? And yeah, we were taking a gamble, jumping in. Who knows? That guy could have brought us out to God knows where and robbed us and done what, right? But point being, so the demand was there. Uber saw it. They flirted the laws for a long time until they got big enough where they were too big to fail, and now they've reached that point. So, you're going to see those headlines, but I don't imagine that's going to impact their business at all. So you got China stocks trading a little bit lower. Looks like they got fined. So tech stocks, China stocks fell after the Chinese government fined Alibaba, Tencent, and other China tech companies for failing to comply with anti-monopoly rules and not disclosing transactions. Let's see how some of those stocks are trading lower this morning. Jump over to Baba. Whoo, watch out. Looks like they don't think Max Payne is over just yet. Baba, man, down 9%. If you're looking for an entry, folks, you can see the power of channels here, man. This is a weekly going back to a high of $319 in October of 2020. You break out of that channel line in May, and maybe you come back and you need to test that channel line one more time, man. You're at 110. You were just at 125. You lost $15 like that in Alibaba. The pain in China is not over yet, folks, especially when we got Macau getting shut down right now. JD.com, they're down 4.4% as well. Market selling off. NASDAQ off more than 2%. NASDAQ 100. Let's see how some of the FANG stocks. Amazon ahead of Prime Day, off 3.3% right now. Apple shares off 2.1%. Google shares off 3% right now. Microsoft shares off 1.7%. You think this volatility is over, folks? Oof, not even close. The VIX, 26.55, up about $2. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back to finish up the show.
TFNN has just launched their new trading room, the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. And now they are expanding their reach with the Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. In the Tiger's Den, you can look over the shoulders of Tom O'Brien and the other TFNN hosts while they analyze charts during their live Tiger TV programs, and join an interactive trading community with hundreds of members exchanging ideas. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day, even at night and on the weekends. The Tiger's Den at Discord is accessible on mobile or tablets as well, so it's always at your reach. To sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders, just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps right now, negative by 45 points. And look where we are on this chart. You take a look at the longer-term chart of the S&P. You put it on a weekly. We're chopping around at the 382, man. Important critical level for the S&P. And you see, we've been there, folks. Remarkable. We've been there for 2 months. Does it seem like we've been chopping around for 2 months? Maybe you're consolidating. But which way are you consolidating? You're consolidating for another move lower? You're consolidating for a bounce higher? We're going to find out, folks, because we get some important number this week. So you get CPI numbers on Wednesday. You're looking at a number that 8.8 is the headline expected, okay? The previous number was 8.6. Core CPI, they're looking for 5.8%. The previous number was 6. Yeah. CPI month over month, they'll be looking for 1.1%. On a monthly basis, 1.1%. How were prices last month? Well, guess what? How are prices in May? Well, in June, they're going to be 1.1% higher. My goodness, right? Core CPI month over month, they're still looking for 0.6%. That is a mammoth number month over month when you think about the months that it's going into last month. So we got that number on Wednesday. You'll get initial jobless claims on Thursday as well. And then we got retail sales on Friday for June. The number expected, a 0.9% increase. The previous number was a 0.3% decline. So some big economic numbers I went through. We get the bank stocks on Thursday and Friday. We get Pepsi as well. And we get a couple others, right? What else was I talking about? Pepsi, Delta Airlines, Fastenal we get on Wednesday. Some of the other companies jumping out at me. American Outdoor Brands we get on Thursday. Progressive is out there. United Health, State Street, PNC, BNY Mellon. Some of the notables out with their earnings as we kick off the earnings week. S&P right now kicking it off, negative 43 points as we started off, and we'll jump over to the VIX right now, 26.58 in that volatility index, and we'll finish it up with notes and bonds. Did we get there? We did. We got a two-handle, folks. The 10-year up 23.5 ticks right now. Boy, we made it up to one. What did we just make it up to? We just made it up to 118.15. And we're sitting basically at 3% right now, a hair under that number. Folks, thanks so much for starting your trading week with me. Stay tuned. Live programming all day. Basil, Larry, Fast Market, Steve Rhodes, Dave White, Tom O'Brien, my dad this afternoon. Have a great Monday, everybody.